Hey everyone, how is it going? Welcome to the quick start guide for the Waypoint Trading Journal. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you have just recently signed up. So, welcome to Waypoint Trading Journal. The goal of this video is to give you an overview of the product as well as a quick start guide so that you can get everything all customized, set up, implement all your trades, and start utilizing this tool to improve your trading. A little background, this tool was born from 8 years of just frustrations as a trader. Once I had found out how important it was to really know your trading statistics, to be journaling, to be managing your risks, and reviewing your trades, I just really struggled to find a good way to do this. Countless Excel sheets, tons and tons of notebooks, just regular pen and paper, various tools that I tried, and they really all kind of, I guess, fell into two buckets. The first bucket was a very, very detailed um, kind of recording of all the metrics that I was looking for, but that took tons and tons of time. That was just very, very cumbersome and wasn't really efficient. And then I also had other methods that were very, very easy to use, quick and easy documentation, but left huge gaps in my data, leading to subpar analysis, which was just preventing me from really, really helping myself improve my trading. Between all of the methods that I had tried, they all had a big issue where I would spend all this time journaling what was going on in my personal life, what was going on psychologically with my mindset and trading, the reasons that I was taking trades. But then I had to sit down and read through all of that stuff, try to find trends, try to make correlations between my trading performance and these notes, and then come up with a way that I could improve my trading with all of that. And that would take a ridiculous amount of time. But with the recent advancements in AI over the past couple of years, I realized that this could possibly be the solution to the problem that I've been having. So I set out to basically design what would be my perfect trading journal. And while talking with some people in the community, I realized that I was not the only person with this problem. And there seemed to be a lot of interest in checking out the tool that I was creating. So I took a step back and looked at it through the eyes of some other traders, got some feedback, and decided to design this tool not just for myself, but for really any trader that they can get this set up and have all the data that they need. Um, so that's where we're at. I'm really stoked for everybody to kind of check this tool out and utilize this to really, really improve their trading. So we'll start off with a quick overview. Jump over to Waypoint now. And like I said, then we'll get you all set up. On your left-hand side, you have all your tabs. On the top here will be where you're going to get to have your multiple portfolios. As you can see, this is just a test account, but you can select all different portfolios. So whether it is you have a margin account, a IRA account, maybe you're trading for family or friends, and you can have all those accounts in here and managing all those trades and all those data metrics all in one account. Your dashboard, that's right here. When you open that up, this is all your performance metrics. There is a ton of stuff in here, as you can see. Now, the big thing with this is, if you're like me, I don't like looking at dollar amounts. I like doing everything just based off percentages. I think psychologically, it's just a lot easier as your account starts to grow. So this is completely customizable. You can come in here, look at all your widgets. You can take out the ones that you do not want. And then over here, you can customize and really adjust this layout for however it is that you want it to look. A couple good things that I want to highlight over here. Obviously, you can see just some of the basic metrics that we have. I also put in this tilt breaker. What I love about this is in your trading and your risk management, there is a likelihood of having so many losses in a row. And that's something that as you get more experience, if you're a newer trader, you'll find that out. And I designed what is the tilt breaker, where you just simply put in that number of your likely number of losses in a row. And once it triggers over that, you'll get a nice alert, like as you see here, that'll tell you you've reached over those number of losses, and you should be paying attention, maybe taking a step back because you shouldn't be taking that many losses in a row. You have a full on equity curve that will build itself just based on your actual trade transactions. So this will all be built with the data that is pulled from the web, giving you an accurate depiction of how your trading is going over different time frames. As you can see up here, we also have different time frames, so you can look at all your data in these pre-formatted time frames, or you can come in here and select custom time frames. Other than that, there's a couple notepads, some weekly, daily routine kind of areas, which I think is great, especially if you're a newer trader that wants to really develop a strong routine. And what's nice about these is the daily will reset every day. So you can set it all up. You can check everything off as you complete it. And then the next day, that'll all uncheck and be fresh. And the weekly does the same thing, but on a weekly time frame. So a lot of cool different metrics in here, more to come. But this is where you're going to come in to look at all those statistics. The next, you have your risk manager. The risk manager is super, super powerful for being really aware of how much risk you have going into the market. As you can see, very similar style to we have with the dashboard, where you have all these tiles above that are different widgets giving you different bits of information. Same thing. You can take the ones away that you don't want to see. You can completely customize this layout to have a visual that fits your style. And but the real thing that I love is down here in your portfolio heat table, as I call it, you have your open positions. And with those open positions, you're able to see it'll put in the last close, and then you update your current stop. And based on the update of current stop, it'll tell you things like how far away from that stop you currently are. If you do get stopped out, what will that look like for that trade's P&L? Is it a loss? Is it a gain? What kind of gain? The current R value of that trade based on the current price, the weight of that trade compared to your portfolio, and net risk and trade heat, which is your actual equity risk based on the current stop. So the net risk is really nice because you can actually sell partial positions, keep the stop in the same, but the net risk has the ability to know that because you've taken profits, you've essentially de-risked that trade, though that stop may be below your actual entry. So really tried to think of everything that's in here with the R values, all that different stuff. You can set those initial stops and things like that in here. And there's some cool stuff in the settings I'll show you as well, where if you have like a consistent stop, like maybe you're somebody that always uses a 5, a 7, and 8% stop, those can be built in. So you don't actually have to keep entering it every single time. You can quickly add new trades, and you can also come in here and close out the trades very, very easily. Also, I'll show you in a second, you don't have to manually enter everything. We have a CSV import. The new sandbox trade, this is really cool because you could just come in here, you can enter a ticker. It has already your account size, your default metrics for stop losses, profit targets, position sizing, things like that. And then it will actually just spit out. So if we came in here, and maybe let's just say my entry price, just 150. It'll tell me how many shares I could buy based on my max position sizing, the position value, the true risk in dollar amount to my actual portfolio, the equity risk, R multiples based on just your stop loss and your profit target. And then the whole summary kind of comes in down here. And you can do this both for long and for short. So you can, if you're somebody who trades on the short side, I throw it both ways. All right, let's go trade log. This is just essentially where you're going to import all of your trades. I did put a quick log button, so no matter where you are, you can just click this and it'll open up a new trade log. And in the trade log, you'll see you can put your ticker, the action, buy, sell, sell short, buy to cover, price, shares. If you have fees for some reason, I know different brokers, different fees, things like that, you can import that there. And then here you have your setups and your sell rules. This is all customizable. I'll show you that. And then type of trade, swing, day trade, scalp position. Put your notes in here. There is a voice feature. I'm not going to be able to use it now just because I'm recording my voice here, but you click that and you can just talk out your notes. And then you can also add screenshots in here. And what's cool with the screenshots, you don't have to save those screenshots. You can copy and paste them, even just grabbing a quick screenshot like you can do on Windows, hit Control V and it'll paste right in there. So you don't have that cumbersome save a file, import a file type of thing. The other method at which you can do is your import trades, and here you can use a CSV file. We'll go over that in the setup, and this just makes it so you don't have to kind of type in all of that information, share numbers, when you bought, when you sold, how many shares, dollar amounts, all that kind of stuff, making it much, much easier. But then in here, you can look at things from two different perspectives. This was something that was always a real big challenge for me. Um, I tend to not just make one buy in a position. Sometimes I start off with a smaller position. I'll scale in. I'll take partial profits, or sometimes I'll partially sell to keep my stop loss a little bit smaller. Sometimes I'll be adding on all different types of additions of buys and sells within what is actually a bigger, what I call campaign for a stock. What happens is this will automatically track those campaigns from your initial open to your final sell and all the transactions in between, and group those trades so you can see not only the individual buys and sells and the individual sell profits or losses, but it'll also be able to figure out everything as a full big trade so you can really understand how you did scaling in and out, excuse me, of those positions. This was huge for me. A lot less calculations that I need to do, a lot easier to review my trades because everything was automatically grouped. So I was really, really happy with how this kind of came out. And you can see it groups everything. So you can see all this different data. You can quickly see some of the data that's all here. You can add to positions. If you like reviewing things through a micro trade, just actual transactions, you can click that here as well. And then here's your advanced kind of filters. So you can search for different executions or search for tickers up here. And same thing, different time frames over here. So you can just have certain, maybe just for the last week, which is not on this, but maybe the last 3 months, you can see what campaigns are running. All right, trade debrief. Post analysis is huge. And I want to make, again, a quick and easy way to do my post analysis. So with that, I have the trade debrief. What you'll see is you have pending and archive, and this is designed to just allow you to keep up on your trades. So as you close those big campaigns, you can actually come in here and you'll see a list. As you can see on this one, none of these were actually done, and you can open it up and say, okay, I have maybe 2 trades to review. I bring up whatever my charting tool is, my broker, whatever it may be, however I look at the charts. And I come in here and have everything that I need to make analysis on that trade. I could screenshot all my trade markups, put them in here, and then here's the quick after action report. Give it a quick and easy grade, nothing too complicated, just A, B, C, D, F. And then what did I do right? What did I do wrong? This is all customizable as well. So let's say you have an issue with maybe position sizing. You can put I did good position sizing, bad position sizing, and quickly tag those when you do those things and then be able to track that specific thing that you want to track. It also makes it a lot easier for the AI to see your trends and to know specifically how you saw some of these trades. Captain's log, just basically a notes section, but same thing. You have that voice feature so you can just talk, and then also screenshots that you can add in here. And what happens is when you come in here and you do complete that trade, what you'll see is it moves into your archives, and then you can always go back and review and edit it. But the goal of this really is if you are staying up on top of things, when you come in here, this will be clear. When you close out a trade, you'll see you have 1 trade pending, and that'll kind of trigger you to say, okay, let me review this trade, not let things pile up, and not be waiting to the end of the year to have to review all of your trades. Thought that was a really, really nice feature. And here you have filters so you can look through stuff as well. Then we have market outlook. This is another journaling part of it. I am big on looking at the current market conditions, and that dictates a lot of my exposure levels. So this is an area to journal just that. It gives me a quick and easy place to talk about the market trend, give a quick selection on exposure levels, and then type my thoughts for the day. And this will all be able to be utilized by AI. And then a nice little motivation of your day streak, which will look at only on market open days and make sure that you're keeping up with your note-taking and journaling. You have your mindset journal over here. You can see very, very detailed. I just want to say you don't have to use everything. The AI will still have plenty of capability to look at simple notes. So if you're somebody that just wants to do 1 journal a day, you can come in here and just click, I would say post market's probably best. You can select the mood for the day, and then you can journal. But if you're somebody more detailed, you can come in here and you can see intraday, and post market details, all your different moods as a kind of trend throughout the day. You can document your personal life and your trading life or your trading psychology. Also with this, quick tags. So if you want to say I had a poor night's sleep, I worked out, and I had a long day at work, all of these things are get tagged into this journal entry. So you don't actually have to sit there and type everything out. So again, for things that you want to consistently track, you could just quickly click these things. Same thing you see over here: FOMO, confidence, afraid to act, whatever it may be. You can build these and then just quickly click them and document that information. Here is your voice to text. So you can also just talk to the journal and it'll document everything for you, which for me, that was really great because there's very often times where I'm in the middle of doing something. Maybe I'm driving and I'm thinking about trading and I realize maybe I'm having FOMO or whatever it may be. I can quickly grab my phone. I can hit that little voice button and I can just start talking out how I'm feeling, and that'll all get documented. The big, powerful piece of this is Magellan, the AI coach. I named it Magellan to go with the Waypoint kind of theme. And what you have here is a fully built-in AI that is actually designed specifically for this application. It has the ability to look at all your different information, but it also does it in a way where you're not going to bog down the AI with too much information. So over here, you can click exactly what information you want to look at. You can click the time frame that you want to look at. Again, so you're keeping the information you're sharing with the AI very specific. You even have custom ranges over here. And then you can just come in here and ask the AI whatever it is that you want. It knows to look at your settings, and we'll go through those where your trade style. So this will be very tailored to you. It's not going to be generic. You also have some quick buttons here to look at the last 7 days. On top of this, this AI will also give you a weekly email and a monthly email just as a quick analysis. So you'll get that in your email just to see how you did for the week and just a summary. All right. So hopefully that was a good quick overview. Went a little longer than I wanted to, so sorry about that. But that hopefully gives you guys a good idea what this tool is capable of. So let's get you guys all set up. When you sign in, the first thing that you're really going to want to do, and if you forget these, there is a get started guide right here. And you also have the AI over here to ask it questions. But the first thing you want to do is set up your portfolios. So you're going to go to settings and you're going to go to portfolios right here. And you'll see portfolio settings. So you see you have a couple of portfolios here. When you hit new portfolio, and there'll be one in here default that you can adjust, you're going to name it. So you can name it, let's say my IRA account. And then you can come in here, you can select the margin type. If you have commissions that are consistent and they do not show up in the CSV file that you're importing, you can put them per trade and it'll just automatically add that. I don't think many people will need this, but it's here if you need it. And then you can do your initial balance right here. Now, the way this is designed in this way of setting up a portfolio is you set an initial balance from where you are at cash, and then now you add the transactions from that cash point on, and it'll build everything out, your equity curve and all your statistics. But I do realize there are some people that maybe have longer term positions and they want to set up a portfolio and they want the data to remain accurate. So for that, we have this little toggle here. It says, I have existing positions. You click this. And what you're doing is you're just providing a snapshot of your portfolio on such and such a date. So you can come in here and let's just say it's January 1st. You can put what was the closing balance on January 1st of that account. And then you can come in here and add your holdings. You can put the ticker, the shares, long, and then just the closing price for that day. This is now showing on January 1st, I had, let's say, a $10,000 account. And in that $10,000 account, I held Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. I had this many shares. This is the closing price. And it gives a snapshot of your portfolio on that date. And now all the rest of your transactions and data will continue from there, just to keep things accurate. If you are somebody that has a point where you're in fully cash, and then you're going to use this point of setting up a portfolio, and then just implement all the transactions from that point forward. Like I said, you could set up multiple portfolios and those will all be selected through here. So the next step in getting started is going to be setting up your trading style, right? And as you can see, there was a lot of areas where that kind of tied into the way the app functioned. So the first thing you're going to do is click trading style, come in here, and I just picked basically what is, I think, what encompasses most people's trading styles. For myself, I'd be position swing trader, but there's all other styles in here. And this will inform the AI on what type of trader you are. Another feature that I added is picking 3 traders that are similar to you. You don't have to do this, but again, it just helps the AI. So let's say you're somebody who has been studying Mark Minervini, William J. O'Neill, and Stan Weinstein. You can come in here and you can add all 3 of those, giving the AI the understanding of these are traders that I try to trade like, and giving the AI more information and things to look and compare to. Then you have your trading rules, which are right here. This is just plain text that's going to go to the AI. You can dump a trading rule document that you already have. You can type one up. If you don't, save the rules, and then the AI will have access to that whenever you're asking, so it understands the rules that you use to trade. And then the last part is your risk defaults. So if you remember, I was talking about some things just kind of auto-calculating stop losses, things like that from a default standpoint. This is where you would set that up. So you have risk per position, your max risk per position that you allow, your max position size, your stop loss, your normal stop loss, your normal profit target. And then this is pretty cool too. It's your max open risk or portfolio heat, which is actually in your risk manager, which shows how much of your equity is at risk at any current point based on all your stops. So you can also set that as a max number so that when it exceeds that max number, you'll see this in red. Just again, another visual to give you an idea that you might be putting too much risk out in the market, or maybe need to move some stops up or tighten things up. So that's going to set up basically your trading style to this portfolio, not only for things to just kind of default in the background on certain areas for you, but also so the AI is personalized to you as well. The next thing you're going to set up is your tags. So you'll see you have 1, 2, 3 different tags. You saw kind of where those were. This is where you'll manage your setups. There's a bunch of defaults in here. You don't need to keep these all in here. You can come out and actually eliminate some of these if you do not use them. And you can also add different setup names if you don't see them in here. Excuse me. And this is really just your buys and your sells. So you can quickly document, okay, this was a cup with handle breakout that I bought. This was a pullback buy. This was an inside day that I added on. This was a initial stop loss. This was a break of the 21 day. This was a profit taking point, and easily document those, and it'll all be right in there. And you just quickly click to add those. Here's your trade debrief tags that we talked about. So you can add and customize and remove all of those in here. And here is your journal tags for your personal journal and for your trading mindset journal. So you can get real creative with this stuff. You can put anything, nothing, tons of stuff in here, just making the journaling process quick, easy, while also making things very, very easy for the AI to track what's going on and see trends, because it's just in a consistent data, right? If I slept poorly, and that's always how I document it, is going to be a lot easier for the AI to see the trend than poor sleep, 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, and woke up in the middle of the night, or baby was crying in the middle of the night, right? Those are all different things that the AI has to make sense of, where if I just document it as poor sleep, it's going to make it much, much easier for the AI to see those trends. All right, after that, so now we are going to get into entering your trades. So like I mentioned, you can do this manually, right? You can come in here and just manually enter all these trades. And this is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. If you're somebody that is not looking to track your historic data, this is a good way to do it. But to make things easier for everybody, you have a CSV file import. Most brokers will give you a transaction kind of export of a CSV file that just shows all of your transactions. And you can just take that file and dump it in. The way I like to do it is, if I make trades for the day, I select just those days trades, or I go to my 1-day view on my broker and I export my transactions, and then I dump it in here. And now I don't have to enter the ticker, the number of shares, the prices, or really anything. It'll just automatically implement it. I am working on getting an actual broker integration worked out. It is a little bit more complex, and it does require me using a real secure service. So I'm doing some research into that. Um, that's coming in the future. But for now, this works really, really well. Here's a download. I'm not gonna be able to show that to you guys here, but you can click this download for a sample file, and this will give you an idea of how the file should be formatted. A couple things to note though. You want to make sure you see how that file is organized from top to bottom. Are your newest trades at the top or are your oldest trades at the top? And depending on that, you would just select that before actually implementing that file. And this will make sure that as those trades are implemented, that equity curve and everything is built properly. The grouping of the trades is done properly. So be sure to pay attention to this before you drop those files in. Other than that, there is some notes here that you can read through. But once you import those trades, it might take a couple seconds. It might load for a little bit. What it's basically doing is building out all those campaigns. It's also grabbing all of the historic data. So to have an accurate equity curve, to really have realistic pictures of your drawdowns and things like that, you need to be able to also see those unrealized gains. And those transactions don't show those unrealized gains. So the data in the background is able to see that I bought stock A here and I didn't sell it to here. And look at the closing price in between that. And it's basically building out those positions to see how they fluctuated, your portfolio, to see how your portfolio fluctuated, to repaint your trading history and give you the data that you need. So if you have any further questions on this, there's a lot of different brokers. There's a lot of different ways brokers export things. I have Schwab. It works great with Schwab. It works great with, I think, most of those big brokers. Webull is one though, if you do have, that I know in their exports doesn't actually for some reason show you the shares that you bought when you export it, which I think is bizarre. But so you might have to export that and then just manually enter all your shares and then dump that file. So, but reach out to me if you have questions, and if there's anything you think needs to be done to improve this. My goal is to make this great for everybody, so I'm all ears. Once you implement that, like I had mentioned, really comes down to customization. Come into this dashboard, look at all of the metrics and really ask yourself what you want to see and what you don't want to see. Default will show everything. So you're going to come in here and you're going to delete the things that you don't want. Like I said, I don't care much about those dollar amounts. So I'll just unclick those with this minus. And then you can also select that default time frame view. So every time you do open it, what view is shown. So here we have just year to date. And then when you close this out, it'll update. And this customize allows you to really move things around, put what you really want up at top, and refit everything so it looks exactly how you want it. So take some time to customize this so it's the way that you would like. If you're a newer trader and you have questions what this stuff means, obviously you can Google, but we also have a glossary in here with tons of different stuff. So if something comes up that does not, you don't really truly understand, come into this glossary, search help, use the AI, and it'll give you an explanation of that. And then you update your risk manager, get that all organized as well. And then from there, you're pretty much all set. There's a lot that you can do with this. The big thing that I would suggest, and this goes with anything within trading, is to build it into your routine. For me, right, I break down the overall market. I look at what went on in sectors. I look at what went on in the industry groups, almost like a top-down analysis. I do some small daily stock screening. I look at my watch list, and then I start preparing for the next day. And this becomes the tool that I'm using to prepare for the next day. I'm using a lot of this risk manager to really plan out my trades. And then I'm also looking at my current positions, updating stops, and making sure that my risk is all kind of set up. And this is actually cool too. This market exposure area right here directly correlates with your last entry within your market outlook. So if you put an entry in here, then this will be that entry to just give you a nice friendly reminder of how much exposure you are telling yourself you should have in the market. And then you can look at your total exposure over here to see if you are following your own market outlook. Other than that, I think that kind of covers it all. The only other thing that I did not put in here because I forgot to show you is when you hit a buy, when you hit a sell short, you'll see this initial stop. And it tells you right here, this initial stop is used to calculate those R multiples. If you leave it blank, it is going to be using your default stop loss. So set that default stop loss at what is your normal stop. This way, you'll see that all the R multiples, even on your historic trades, are going to be based off of that initial stop and then showing you the R multiple of that trade. So just something to take note of. Other than that, you can also quickly update, like I said, your initial stops within your risk manager over here. Here's your current stop. This will update every day with the last close, but you can also click this to load that last close if for some reason it does not update. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you have questions, please reach out. This is the Discord channel. This will get you right in there. That's probably the best place to talk with everybody else using the tool, as well as myself. And anything that you have question-wise or something that you request for features, things like that. There is an X account, and you also have this YouTube. You can link right here where I'm going to be putting a lot more videos out. So I am excited for everybody to get to try this tool. Like I said, this was kind of born from a lot of my own frustrations, but seeing how many people were interested in it, I realized that this could be a tool that would benefit a lot of people. So I am hoping this makes a huge impact on everybody's trading. I'm hoping people are able to utilize this to improve it and to make a lot of money in the market. And looking forward to seeing the stories that you all have from utilizing Waypoint. If you have any questions, reach out. Other than that, happy trading and stay disciplined.